What's up, y'all? Welcome to my channel today, man. In this video, man, I just got a situation I want to talk about, man. Before I get into all that, first off, I want to send my condolences out to the 6 kids that lost their mother in this job she was working at. She was the manager at McDonald's in Michigan, and she got killed by one of her employees. They stabbed her to death, man. And I just wanted to speak on that, man. I just want to say, man, it's just a really sad situation, man. One of your employees stabbed you to death, man, and I've been hearing a lot of people been talking about that young girl that was working there as well as the employee. A lot of people been saying she, got a mental disorder that she's suffering from, and she was getting bullied by her manager at work and stuff like that. And first off, I just want to say, man, if she was getting bullied there, which I don't know what all took place at that job she was at, I don't really know, but if she was getting bullied, I just want to say I'm sorry to hear that. I'm really sorry to hear that, because getting bullied by somebody is hurtful. That can be traumatizing, getting picked on and bullied by somebody, and I don't condone that. If she was getting bullied, I don't condone that, because that's not a good thing at all. And I also been hearing about how she been dealing with some things in her home life too, with this man she was staying with. She been having problems with him, and he, kind of crazy and weird. And he also, in one of the videos on Instagram, I saw where he was begging her for sex and stuff, and she was like no and stuff like that. And it just, when I look at this girl story and what she been dealing with in her life, she really have been suffering through a lot in her life. This young girl, she really have been suffering through a lot in her life. And she do got a mental disorder. I wish she would have got some help sooner or later. I wish things would have never went this far, because this situation really did go bad. You took the kids' mother away from them, and they ain't gonna never get to see her again. And then them kids, they still grieving over their mother today. And that's not gonna be easy for their kids to deal with the fact that their mother is gone now. Every day they wake up, they know their mama ain't coming back. And that's hurtful, man. I can't imagine how hurtful that is, to lose your mother in a brutal murder like this, because she stabbed this woman to death. So ooh, that's rough. And I'm just sorry to hear that. And that's just a really traumatizing situation. I hate that. I wish it would have went different. I wish the young girl could have really got her some help before things really got out of hand, just like it did. I feel like, sometimes in life it's better ways to handle situation than taking a person's life. Sometimes, we gotta be the bigger person and walk away from situations like this. Because when situations like this get out of hand, it end up causing somebody's life. And I just wish that young girl could have went and applied for a job somewhere else. I wish she could have went and got her a job somewhere else. Because, it's many restaurants and other business, she could have applied for. And I just, I feel like it didn't have to go this far, man. But, I mean, this young girl, man, she was dealing with she was up under a lot of pressure in her life, man. Like I said, man, I also looked at her Instagram page, too. She seemed like an isolated person for what I seen on Instagram, man. It was a couple weird things on there she was doing, too, like carrying a dead bird. I also seen that, too. That kind of caught me off guard when I seen that dead bird she was holding in her hand. And, she seemed like an isolated person. She don't seem like she hang with a lot of people. She always by herself. And most of her videos I seen on Instagram, she don't look like she really be around people for what I seen on her Instagram. She seemed like she like being isolated a lot for what I seen on Instagram. And the young girl was just, like I said, was up under a lot of pressure, man. She was dealing with a lot. And with this dude, whoever she was staying with, he was really getting on her nerves and taking her through a lot. And, I just wish she could have got herself out of that situation and tried to get some help before things really got heated, because things really did get heated fast in that restaurant at McDonald's. Things really did get heated fast, and you end up taking somebody's life. And not only you took that person's life, you know, you took them kids' mother away from them. And that's a sad situation. Like I said, I hate that, man. I hate that, but I'm not saying I ain't saying a person have a right to take a person life because they getting bullied, you know. I'm not saying that. I don't condone that either. I'm not saying you should take a person life if you're getting bullied. If you're getting bullied, you know, try to get yourself out of that situation. Try to just walk away. If you can walk away, walk away. A lot of times, you know, we try to take the situation into our own hands, and when we do that, we end up hurting ourselves. Sometimes you need to try to get some help or try to find a way to get out that situation. Because taking situations like that into your own hands, you see what happened, right? You end up killing somebody and, you know, throwing your whole life away. And, you know, that's why I say, I wish the girl could have got some help. I wish she could have really got some help. Because, like I said, she not only she had a mental illness she was dealing with, but she also was dealing with a lot of stuff in her home life too as well. You know, and I hate that. I just hate that. You know, I hate that. I really hate the whole situation, man. And, you know, it's messed up, man. Like I said, I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. But what I heard from, I know people saying, you know, she was being bullied and she stabbed this woman to death and stuff like that. And if she was getting bullied, which I'm not saying she wasn't getting bullied, I don't know, she probably was getting bullied. And if she was, I'm sorry to hear that. I hate that happened to you. I hate you was getting bullied by this woman. But I'm not saying you had the right to take this woman's life because you were getting bullied. I'm not saying that you should go around killing people because you're getting bullied. You know, when you getting bullied, it's other ways of handling the situation, but instead of taking a person's life. I'm not saying that, but I hate the whole situation, man. I send my prayers out to the kids that lost their mother, and I also send my prayers out to the person that's behind bars, and I don't care what nobody say. People can go ahead and hate me, say what you want to say about me, but I'm sending my prayers out to both of the, you know, the kid's mother, and I'm sending my prayers out to the one that's in jail. I don't care what y'all say. I hate the whole thing, period. You know, I hate it. And, you know, I just had to get in the video and say a few things, man. I've been seeing people talk about this situation a lot, and I just had to get on here and say a few things. So, if you like this video, man, make sure you go ahead, like, comment, subscribe to this channel, man. I'll see y'all later.